What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. We are in a lovely corner of the beautiful Braille House 2.0, the mini ramp. Now you may notice we got the lovely skate light on there. We made the other side complete, so it's kind of like a whole new mini ramp. So what we wanted to bring you today is the 10 easiest mini ramp tricks. So we're gonna be showing some love to the ramp. What I think for trick number one, I'm not necessarily gonna say pumping, but I'm gonna say rolling around on the ramp. Now, if you remember a lot of Aaron's videos, he says, get comfortable riding your skateboard first. That is the most important thing, to feel secure and safe on your skateboard, and that is what we are gonna do this first trick. Now, basically all we're doing is we already know how to push around, and we're just gonna roll to fakie. Then we turn around, then we roll to fakie again, boom. That's our trick. But it seems like I'm not doing all that much, but I actually am doing quite a bit. Is what you want to do is, as you go up, once you feel that sort of point of weightlessness, you got to turn your weight around and turn your shoulder all the way around. Because if you just try to go up and stay up, typically this is what I see beginners do. They go like this. And we do not want to do that. We want to land it.
That was a very nice launch.
So we don't want to do that, because look how long it took me to go get my board. We want to go like this, turn our shoulders. We go up, turn our shoulders, we go down. Very, very important. Always keep a good bend in your knees. If you have your legs too straight, it's really hard to maneuver. It's really hard to adjust. When you have your legs bent, boom, you can move much more quickly, feel a lot safer. So that's pretty much the basic premise of this one. We go up, turn our weight, go down. Then we get to the other side of the ramp. When we get to the other side of the ramp, we're gonna do the exact same thing, except switch. So we're starting switch. We're gonna do the same thing. Remember, we don't wanna do this. We don't wanna do that. Even switch, we don't wanna do that. So we go up, turn our weight, then our weight's this way. We go up, turn our weight, back this way. So we can just keep practicing this. And then we will eventually run out of speed. But that is basically it for this first one. So we're gonna hand it over to another member to give you the next trick.
All right, guys, trick number two, kick turns. Now there's two ways to go about this. You can go backside or you can go frontside. I prefer starting with backside because it seems more natural to turn that way. So if you don't know what that is, I'll show you right here. Backside kick turns. And I'll just show you frontside right now while we're at it. This is frontside. But we're gonna go ahead and start with backside. All you're doing is kind of manualing and just turning your board 180 degrees. So say you're rolling up this ramp and you have a trick in mind that you want to do here, but you got to be facing forward. Instead of going up and coming to fakie, you use the kick turn to turn your body around and get ready for the next trick. So you really just want to be comfortable, on flat ground first. You want to be comfortable doing this, which is, kind of doing that motion. And all it is basically going into a manual and using your hips and your shoulders to kind of turn your body. So when you're on a quarter pipe, it's a little, it's a little weird at first. You start small and you work your way up. And then one of the main tips for getting your board to turn all the way around is actually using where you're looking to kind of guide you. I'm rolling up, and before I kick turn, I kind of already am turning my neck and looking to where I'm gonna go. So watch my neck and how I turn, facing where I'm going to look, like that. So I'm going up this way, turn my neck, bang. And a lot of it is in the motion of the hips. So you want to kind of like wind your hips up and use your shoulders to kind of like, throw you over. But I mean, not throw you over, but you know what I mean, turn you. But it's really important to watch where you're turning towards. That's going to help you a lot. So one more time, watch. Looking that way, that way, that. So some of the common mistakes with this trick is either, under rotating, so you're only turning like 90 degrees and then you can't really roll from there, or over rotating, and that's where bad things can happen. So if you over rotate, you can kind of do this and then fall back. So you really want to avoid that. And then with under rotating, like I said, if you land 90 degrees, you're not going to be able to roll from that position. I'll show you right here. So you really want to try and make sure you're getting as close to 180 degrees as possible. Another thing you got to watch out for is leaning too far back. So since you're kind of using a manual to kind of turn you, you really want to make sure you're not too far back, otherwise you will slip out, coming back down. So this is what it looks like. So if I go like that, you want to avoid that. So you don't really need to lift your nose up too high. You just need to barely lift it up to where the wheels are kind of off the ground. Look how much space I have between the ramp and my wheels when I'm kick turning. Not much. And this varies, you know, sometimes you can go higher. You can go higher like that, but you really only need a little bit of clearance. And the closer you keep your wheels to the ramp, the less of a chance you have of slipping out. That's pretty much it. Turn and then kind of lean forward when you're coming back in. That'll keep your weight distributed evenly. Kick turn and then lean in. Lean in. And that's pretty much it. So that's backside. I'll show you guys the frontside kick turn. So it's literally the same thing. We're just gonna turn the opposite way. And it might be kind of scary at first because you're kind of turning blindside. But like I said earlier, you gotta like turn your neck and watch where you're going. Basically, wherever your eyes go, your body will follow. If I'm turning this way, I'm gonna have my neck turn like that. Look over like that. Like that. And that's pretty much it. So instead of going to fakie, you can be like, oh, I'm gonna do a 180 and get ready for my next trick. Kick turns. All right, you guys, we're moving on to trick number 3, and that is dropping in. So we have a quarter pipe. We wanna go in, we gotta drop in. Start out on the smallest ramp you can possible.
Avoid those.
Yeah, avoid that for beginners. Start here if you're just learning. It starts with you getting your wheels over the coping like that. Got your weight on the tail like that. All you're doing basically is kind of like falling in with the board. You're trying to connect your wheels to the ramp as fast as possible and basically put all your body weight with the board and it'll take you away. Dropping in. So step 1, make sure your wheels are hanging over like that. You can drop in like this, but I don't recommend it. You gotta be really advanced for that. So let's not go there. Let's just get the wheels over, bam. Make sure your foot is really on there, really good. You want your weight all stacked on the tail for now. And then the next step is to basically trust yourself to put all your weight on your front bolts, like right there. And you're gonna wanna just slam this down into the ramp as hard as and fast as you can. Get the wheels to touch the ramp as fast as possible while leaning most of your weight onto your front leg. That. It does help too to kind of have your legs bent when you're coming in, because as you come in, you kind of straighten your leg. But the key is to really trust yourself and get a lot of your weight on that front foot really fast, because a big problem with dropping in is you don't fully commit and you have too much weight in your back leg, and then that causes you to slip out and fall. And you want to avoid that. So all in, bam. Do you hear that sound? You want that. You want to slam it in. Get that nice sound with the wheels hitting the ramp. You know, I've seen a lot of people learn how to drop in, and I never really see people fall forward. So you really got to trust yourself and really throw all your weight onto your front leg. A huge issue I see is people not believing and committing, and they just kind of go like, you know, halfway, and they drop in and they start slipping out like that. And then they fall on their butt and then they get discouraged and all this and that. But like I said, just when you're up here, just in your mind, just be like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I'm ready to commit. I'm not scared. Even if you are scared, just know that in this moment, I'm just gonna go for it. Put all my weight and then go. And that's pretty much how to drop in. Like I said, you know, start on the smallest ramp possible. This is a 3-footer, so, you know, if you have something smaller than that, I highly recommend it. That's how you drop in.
All right, next up, I'm gonna show you guys how to do a rock to fakie. So what you're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna come over here on a ramp like so. You come up, you wait. If you want, you could lift up a little bit right here. You don't really have to. You could just hit this, go like that, or you could lift up a little bit and go like that, either way. Then you're gonna wanna come, let it sit down right there, right? And then your weight's gonna be a little bit going on top, but then you bring your weight back into the ramp. And when you're going back in, you wanna press down a little bit right there, like this on the tail to get the front trucks up. Cause you can do this, you get like that, and to go back in, you don't wanna clip and stick and fall. So you're gonna little bit of pressure right here, just a little tiny bit. Land like that, then a little bit of pressure again. Like this, a little bit more pressure though. Then set her down, roll away. All right, I'll show you what that looks like. Come down. Woo. Whoa! So, what happened? I rolled up. On one of them, I went like this. I didn't even go up here like that. Go up there, hit your board right there. Your weight's like this. Here's what I imagine. Your weight is like straight out like this, right? You go up here, your weight goes just a little bit this way, like that. Then to go back into the ramp, put your weight back on top of the board this way, press down the tail a little bit, and let her down, roll away. That's pretty much it. Rock to fakie. Hey,
quiet on set, bruh. All right, guys, we're on number 5 now. You guys learned how to drop in rock to fakie, and this is number 5. It's like a rock to fakie, but it's switch or fakie, whatever your heart desires, however you want to call it, whatever you're feeling that day, because you could roll up switch, you could roll up fakie, and this is easier, I think, than the rock to fakie, because rock to fakie's like this. You go up, and you come down, but you come down switch. With this one, you come up switch stance, and you fakie or whatever, and you go like this, boom, and you come back in your regular stance. So you're back in your comfortable position. I like doing this one because it's a little scary. When you go down switch and you're rolling switch, you're kind of losing balance. So I recommend you learn switch rock to fakie first. It even sounds cooler. It might even brighten your day up because it brightens my day up. And I'm gonna give you a couple examples on how to do it and a couple more tips on how to put your feet and just do the trick. Woo! Yeah. Just give it a little. Oh, just give it a little. With that being said, you see it. It's like a rock to fakie. You know how when the rock you lift up a little? With this, you just do it on the nose. So you come up and you just give it a good bam, right in. It's a little scary. Lean forward, so if you go forward, you just fall on the shoulder. It's not gonna hurt that much. With that being said, that's one of the funnest, most easiest, simple tricks to do. And a nice mini ramp, if you got a quarter pipe, however. Go up and switch, get a couple fills in. Maybe start off like this. Get that fill in. Then just keep going higher. Oh, you're right there. Then you just pump it and then woo! Just like that. It's nice and simple. Like I said, I personally think it's easier than the rock to fakie, but whatever. Just try that. Bend them knees, spread them legs out. This is advice from JD. Boom. And you just fully send it. Guaranteed you're gonna land. You might even say this was easier than the rock to fakie. And that's how you fakie or switch rock to fakie right there.
All right, everyone. So this is a very special trick because indeed it is a trick. Your trucks are on the coping. And when I mean the trucks, I'm only meaning the one truck, this. So for those of you that wish you can do an axle stall, but you don't got it, or rock to fakie might be scary, or rock and roll might be scary, but you do got kick turns, which one of our friends over here did, this is what you would do. This is a kick turn, right? Oh, I'm about to go over. Nope. But this is what I like to call the Salazar. My friend Andy Salazar could not drop it. I mean, he couldn't rock a rock fakie. So this is what he would do to like feel hype. He would do this. Not in that motion, because obviously I did it really slow to show, but he would go. I noticed it maybe the 7th time I was skating with him, and I was just like, what are you doing that for? He's like, oh, to hype myself up. You know, like pump yourself up, you know, like the more tricks you do, it's like special meter going up. The more tricks you're landing, you start feeling this confident fire, this passion. And when I saw that in there, I was like, it threw me off because he was like doing backside flip, big spin, fakie 3 shove, and just all these weird tricks. And I was like, okay. So I started doing it too because I was like, hey, if he thinks it's cool, you know? So I call it the Salazar. So let me demonstrate. Kick turn. You see that? I felt hype. What? Look at that. And the cool thing about that, you could take your time. So it just proves right there. I didn't even tap it right there. You see, as long as you know how to kick turn, you're good. All you really need to do is have control of this. If you can put your truck down, you're good.
Have you ever done a fakie 270 Salazar?
I haven't.
It's the move, brother.
Maybe I might have to do a persistence. You'll have to wait and see. But till then, I honestly believe that's a really good stepping stone for rock and roll. Because rock and roll, look at this. You fully put it on there over the coping. Then you turn, you do the kick turn, you do the Salazar. You see the Salazar, what you're doing is you're just tapping the coping. There's not really any, I would say, fear because you're just That's it. And then you're there. All I can say is if you got kick turns, give it a go. You'll be very surprised.
All right, now this is gonna be number 6 and 7. We're gonna be doing the same trick, a slash, but we're gonna do it backside and frontside. Now, I know what you're thinking, what is a slash? I thought that is some kind of gruesome injury. Basically, what it is you kind of like doing a kick turn, but right on the coping, and then it basically just gets the wheel to go ching, and then you're out of there. No putting your weight on there, no dawdling around. It's just a really quick boom. So it's basically just doing a kick turn with letting your wheel go over the coping and your truck tapping the coping and coming back in. All the fundamentals for doing the backside kick turn apply to this as well. It's pretty much the exact same. What's tough with this is it can be a bit mental because this is usually the first time people are getting right up on the coping like that. So I guess let's just do some kick turns and work our way up. Yeah. An important tip with this one is not to freak out because people tend to freak out. If you start freaking out and be like, oh my gosh, my wheel is over, it's not so good. But really, if you just stick to the plan of kick turning, all your weight is on that inside wheel. So this wheel is just very free to just hover on and hover off. So it's kind of like similar to rock to fakie. It's got, you just got to trust yourself a lot and just put a lot of trust in it and just try to take it slow. And then you just got to be like, all right, I'm going to try to get it over the coping. Let's do it. All right. So now we've completed the backside slash. We're going to take it to the frontside slash. Frontside slash is very much exactly the same as the relationship between the backside kick turn and the frontside kick turn. The frontside slash is pretty much the exact same. Frontside kick turn right on the coping. This one, we do have a little bit more weight on it, whereas the backside slash, we have basically no weight on it. But it's still very much just this tiny little whoop. The best way, again, is, as with everything in skateboarding, work up to it incrementally. So we don't have to just straight away try. We can really go kick turn, kick turn, kick turn, and then just really just be like, all right, let's just test it out and just really try to get our wheel on there. And then again, keep calm. There's not as much weight. You can't really get locked up from that and slam. It's pretty much always gonna roll over. So everything's gonna be okay. You just gotta trust yourself. So let's do some kick turns and then a slash. Both the slashes are important because backside slash, it's a stepping stone for an axle stall or a 50-50 grind. Frontside slash, it's a stepping stone for a front 5-0 grind. And they're both very important fundamental tricks of skating transition. So don't overlook these tricks, have fun practicing them, and we're gonna take it to the next trick.
All right, what number is this? All right. This is number 8. This is a pretty fun trick. This is what you call a tail stall. Now that we're a little more advanced, we've been in the mini ramp a little longer, and we want to take our next steps to learning a new trick. This is what it is. You go up switch, you time it perfect, boom, you're right into a tail stall, perfect. Then when you come back in, it's like a normal drop in, bam. So you ride that out. This one's kind of tricky because sometimes you miss the tail, so you'll go over or something, or you just won't make it. This is how JD taught me how to drop in on vert. So this is steps to get you onto that big boy. I'll give you a couple examples. You could just go. Then it's just a simple drop in. So how you time it, you go up, and then once you just feel that leverage, when you keep on messing around, you tapping the tail before you get there, then you'll just feel it. Then you just bring all your weight above the board. Woo! Damn, simple. That's one of the better ones because with no saw, you have to drop and switch. With this one, you're dropping in regular, so you'll be fully ready. It's a tough one at start, but just go like I said. Just practice that until you start hitting the coping. Once you hit the coping, in no time, you're gonna have this trick dialed in. Can't wait to see you on the Braille Army app. Just sending this. Then you could just take it to different levels and bam, you're all good. That's a fakie tail saw for you right there.
All right, number 9. Now this is a fun one because we're not touching the lip of the ramp anymore. We're taking it back to inside the ramp. I really like this trick. I honestly have no idea what it is called, but it is a very fun one. So we're just gonna call it Fakie 360 kick turn. Now this one is good because in skating, I think 2 most important things is the timing of tricks and how you're distributing your body weight. I think those things are really, really important. So this is a really good exercise of both of those things. I guess I'll give you a demo of the trick first and then I'll break it down. Yeah. Okay, so what's happening is we've rode to Fakie. We're coming up switch or Fakie, and then we do a switch nose manual and spin all the way around. Then we land regular and ride out of it. Now, it can be quite difficult to get these 360 spins. As you may have learned in the kick turn, it sometimes can be hard to get it all the way around in one motion. People sometimes they do this one, or they just struggle to get it around. But hopefully you've learned that it's all in the shoulders, that if you really turn with authority with your shoulders, you can get it all the way around. Now, doing a 360 is exactly the same, but we're gonna up the ante and really turn and really follow our shoulders and push it all the way around. And you do have to have a little bit more control on the board than just doing the regular kick turn, because this one you do need to pivot around for a little bit of a longer time. So what you can do to work up to this is you could even just do a kick turn to Fakie. And then you could just practice your regular kick turns. Boom. Boom. I wouldn't recommend trying it if you hadn't got a clean regular kick turn yet. I want to see it in all in one motion because this trick does quite require one motion. So when you're feeling pretty confident on that, get ready, really wind it up and turn with your shoulders and just unleash it. Boom. Boom. Sometimes people get stuck and they only make it to there. But you know, that's okay. You're not necessarily gonna slam, you're gonna be safe, but you really wanna try to make it all the way around. And it's a fun one to just practice and just get used to the timing of doing it and really the relationship to your shoulders, because in skating where your head and your shoulders go, that's where your body goes. So it's fun to figure out that and just really practice doing that in this kind of context. So I hope you had fun with this trick. We're gonna take it to Chris McNugget for the final trick.
All right, guys, last but not least, we have number 10, the axle stall. Now, you may be wondering, what the heck is an axle stall? Well, all it is a 50-50 stall. So the difference between axle and 50-50 is axle's a stall, 50-50 is a grind. So let me show you what that looks like right here. Oh! All right. One more for you. Oh! So as you can see, it's literally just getting both your trucks onto the coping, stalling, and then going back in. So you have a couple of the fundamentals down. We're gonna combine a few of those to make this trick happen. So you got pumping, you got kick turns, you know how to drop in. So you kind of combine elements of those to make this trick happen. Yeah, I recommend just rolling up, getting enough speed, and you're gonna wanna aim your back truck towards the coping, and that's gonna be your pivotal point to get the front truck on, at least when you're learning. So come over here, I'll show you. So this is kind of like where the kick turn comes in. You roll up, and like I said, you're aiming the back truck, kind of turning, get the back truck on like that, and then from here you kind of just like pivot onto this front truck there, and then you stall, and then you roll in. So coming up, kind of at an angle, turn, back truck on, front truck on, and then you roll in. A common issue with this trick is your back truck misses, and when your back truck misses, then the trick doesn't happen. So work on getting that back truck on, and then from there pivot, get the front truck on, and then you're good to go. And I'll give you a tip on how to roll in from that, because there's kind of 2 ways to do it. So come up over here and let me show you. So when you're on, you can kind of get on like this, where you're fully on. As you can see, my front wheel is up against the coping. But for me, I like to get my back wheel against the coping like that. As you can see, I'm kind of like that. And when you come in, it rolls in a lot easier from this position. As you can see, it doesn't get hooked on the coping or anything. So back wheel up against the coping, and then you roll in and it goes in so nice like that. I've seen people do this. I've actually done it myself, where you lock in with the wheels all the way on like that, or the front wheels all the way against that. And then you try and roll in, and then it hooks like that, and then you go flying. If you get in like this, once you're here, I just kind of recommend scooting the back wheel like that towards the coping, and then you can roll in easier. Like that. Dang. My bad, my bad. That'll make sure that when you come in, your back truck doesn't get hooked on top of the coping and you get caught up and then you go flying. So a lot of this trick is actually getting the right amount of speed to make it to the coping. Problem 1, you're going too fast, you're launching on top of the deck, you want to avoid that. Problem 2, you're going too slow and you're actually not reaching the coping. If you're kind of scared of it at first, maybe just start doing this. And then with trial and error, you can kind of figure out how much speed you're gonna need. Get higher and higher. Oh, see, I almost made it. A little bit more. Bang. So back truck, aiming for the coping. Front truck follows. So it really comes down to just getting that back truck accuracy. There, slam this down, and then bam. That's pretty much it.
All right, guys, well, that was a bunch of awesome tricks. We really hope you are out there learning, having fun, pushing yourself. Mini ramp is a fun type of way to skate. Doesn't have to be street skating, ollie, kickflip. You can do all these cool mini ramp tricks, maybe take it to the vert one day, but we want to see you out there having fun. There are some videos right there. Subscribe, like, leave it in those comments below. Was this helpful? What tricks are you working on? Let us know in the comments below. I want you to learn how to skateboard, and we have everything you need on the Braille Army Plus membership. Let's go.